Those people of all ages, welcome to Debate Crypto, where common sense collides with hopium, and it's actually supposed to be hopium colliding with common sense. But we've got your host, myself, the Crypto Keeper, and as always, the one and only blockchain crusader, Miguel. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How you doing?
I am doing well, bro. What's on the podium this evening?
The United States not banning Bitcoin, along with crypto coming to church near you. Yeah, crypto and God. It's getting real, guys. It's getting real.
And aren't we gonna do a little beginner topic at the end and take some Q&A? Yeah.
Yes, as well as that. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
We'll keep that
Good.
as a surprise for later on.
Oh, we got a little surprise for the beginner. So, guys, if you're on TikTok, if you are on YouTube, if you're not subscribed, make sure to smash up that subscribe button and X out the live chat. Smash up the likes. That definitely helps us. We appreciate every one of you, boys and girls. Put on your bibs because it's time for us to spit. Let's get it rocking. Let's get it rocking. So, Miguel, what do we want to start off with here? Are you sharing your screen or am I sharing mine? You're muted.
I just muted myself by mistake. You are the screen sharing master.
I am the screen sharing master. All right, I will do it. Let's start off with let's see here. Let's start off with can I start off with the crypto and God?
Yeah, go ahead.
It
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what we
start off with the crypto and God. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay. So, crypto and God. Mississippi Church provides Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others as a giving option. So, first of all, side note, you guys know I'm a Christian, very open about my faith. When I first read this, I was like, oh boy, where is this headed? Right? Because when you start mixing, money topics with faith, all of a sudden people get a little bit wild. And I was like, okay, where's this headed? But I like it. Last Sunday, Back Bay Church in St. Martin, Mississippi, became known as the first Southern Baptist church to offer cryptocurrency as a giving method, according to Baptist Press. Pastor Adam Bennett, a Mississippi Gulf Coast native who's been in full-time ministry since 2005, introduced crypto as a donation option alongside more traditional channels. Let me pause. First of all, why not? Right? We ultimately, the way that I give at my church, when I do my tithe and offering, I open up my phone and I do a text to give option. So ultimately, I'm just texting the amount.
Oh, really?
So I'm just texting the amount to a set number. And I think a lot of churches are doing that. So it's already digital, I guess is what I'm getting at. You're still going to have a lot of old school churches that are passing around, an offering bucket or whatever.
Yeah.
And people are going to be tossed. But the reality is people don't carry cash anymore. They don't. So
cash is dying.
Cash is totally dying in more senses of more ways than one. There we go. Yeah. And so I look at it and say, okay, well, if I want to give some crypto, why not? Right. So I don't see anything weird about it. What I actually thought was interesting here, right, is you go down a little bit further and it says it's not normal today, but can be in the future as more people become interested in cryptocurrency, which I agree with. It's not like the norm, but hey, my pastor in particular is very interested in XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum. He's interested in crypto. Okay. And so I think it's pretty cool, but here's where I think it really gets cool is the missionary work. We look down a little bit further and it says crypto and missionary work. It is an asset. So if someone wanted to donate to our church like they would with a parcel of land, they can. Then we can sell it and use that money for the mission of God, said the early adopter pastor who believes that crypto can aid in providing assistance in countries troubled or temporarily addled financial systems. There are already nonprofits using crypto to transfer value from one country to another, he said, adding that transactions in some third world countries can't happen quickly and cheaply. Miguel, this is the whole idea behind certain cryptocurrencies. This is the whole idea behind XRP, remittances. Why should we not be able to send our brothers and sisters that are in another country a transaction quickly? Just throwing it out there.
Not XRP in particular, but yes, I see what you're saying.
Hold on.
XRP.
Why not? Why not XRP? I mean, it's remittances, right? So why
XRP
not?
XRP is for the banks. Ain't nobody getting any benefits off XRP except the banks. Let's be
Come
100%
on, come
transparent.
on, come on.
Oh, look, we got MJ Stables on Twitch right now.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. What's up, MJ?
What's up, MJ, dude? Tonight we're not
That
streaming Zed. We're just going through our
I
Saturday
was gonna
Night
say that
Live
is
special.
that's the Zed Run King himself, isn't it? Isn't that who made that freaking in depth
Yes, MJ
analytics?
Informatics. Yes,
Oh
the
man,
MJ Informatics.
brother, that is dope
Yes.
for real. Like it is impressive. I don't know how much scraping you did to get that data, but I'm impressed. I'm also impressed in myself for using the word scraping because I just got that like 2 weeks ago. He taught me what that meant. So patting myself on the back, a little technical jargon there. So, but yeah, Miguel, I mean, what do you think about this? I know that this is just something interesting that I think's interesting,
Oh, definitely. I
but why
completely
not?
agree. I mean, I agree, right? Remittance payments, we're seeing that happening with El Salvador, Bitcoin, Lightning Network, and we're going to be seeing that with a lot more other cryptos. I know Cardano's trying to do stuff to help other third world countries as well, um, and definitely with churches, right? Being able to just instantly transfer money, right, from one place to the next. You'd be able to, if something happens in some type of church around the world, there's enough awareness of social media nowadays. Everybody can just instantly, with a simple QR code, right, an address, just boom, send it right over them, help the church out, and they can accept it and use it to, fix their church up and continue growing. So I
Yeah.
definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it even says at the end, we can get money to them quickly within minutes or even seconds for a very small fee or perhaps a hundredth of a cent. So yeah,
Hold
I
on,
think
dude.
it's
I want to
great.
I want to address a comment here. So
Yeah, go
Kirk is saying the Crusaders drinking that XRP haterade. So I
ahead.
only hate XRP just for the simple fact that it helps the legacy system and it helps banks. I'm not a banks guy. So, if it's helping the financial system continuously to screw us later down the line, I'm not for it. XRP is just a Trojan horse in the crypto world. That's my opinion. But I'm not saying you can't make money with XRP.
Yeah, no, we all know that a lot of people are probably most likely, depending on how this fans out, going to make a lot of money with XRP. But I do agree with you; it is helping the legacy system. By the time when I bought in, I bought in on the front end of my career in crypto back in 2017, right? And so when I bought in 11 to 17 cents, it was like this thing that like, man, this is a great asset. Da, 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 da. I didn't really know everything, but as I accrued and accrued and accrued and got more and more into it, I started to realize some of the things that you like to give a hard time about. But hey, I'm in for the I'm in for it now. I got too much to back away, so I'm hoping it does rip for sure. So all right. You got anything else you wanted to touch on with the crypto and God or no?
No, just for the simple fact that it's just another good example of, smart money spreading into the world in different ways that people aren't expecting, right? Most people aren't
Yeah.
thinking about spending, cryptocurrencies at a church. And it's like, yes, cryptocurrencies can help in so many ways, right? And there's no middleman saying, hey, you can't send this transaction to this address, right? To this other wallet. You can't spend your money here. You can't
Yeah.
do that because of this or that, whatever religion you are, whatever, right? There's no stopping you. It's your money. You do what you want with it. And that's one
Yeah.
of the great benefits of crypto.
Yeah. I am
So what's up
I'm all
next?
in. We've got the US Fed won't ban crypto. I've actually got it pulled up here. I can't see what you have pulled up, but US Fed won't ban crypto, says Chair Jerome Powell. Pause. We know, Jerome, that you're not going to ban crypto. Let's just understand that you can't ban crypto. So just wanted to throw that out there, Jerome. You're not going to be able to ban crypto. It's too decentralized as a whole. You might be able to ban some projects on a level, like a Ripple, right? A massive company that is very centralized. Yeah. Other than that, you're not going to ban crypto as a whole. Just not going to happen. U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has made it clear that there are no plans for a China-style crackdown on cryptocurrencies during a Thursday hearing held by the House Committee on Financial Services. When asked by conservative Rep. Ted Budd of North Carolina about whether or not the Fed is looking to ban or restrict the use of digital currencies, Powell replied that there were no such intentions. They said the central banker mentioned that cryptocurrencies, particularly stablecoins, have to be regulated. There is no intention to ban them, but stablecoins are like money market funds. They are like bank deposits, but they are to some extent outside of the regulatory perimeter. It's appropriate that they be regulated. Miguel, kick us off there. Thoughts?
Well, yes, they're trying to create a digital dollar, right? But digital dollars are already being created with these stable coins. So what they're trying to do here is they're trying to regulate them somehow to either, I don't think they're trying to get rid of them in any kind of way, but they're trying to regulate them in some ways so that they can create some wiggle room to then be able to create their digital dollar, and their digital dollar has some level of benefit that these other stable coins do not have. So they're trying to limit what those stable coins can do for that one purpose. Because if not, in reality, the digital dollar is just going to be another stable coin, and people are like, why would I be on the digital dollar? I can just be using USDC, or I can be using Lunaterra stable coin dollar, right? I could be using DAI. I could be using any other decentralized stable coin. I don't need to use the digital dollar.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, Miguel, with where things are right now. If you are all in, and when I say all in, I'm talking all in. And I know some people that are, listen, you and I are both all in on crypto, right? But the reality is, I run a business that needs to have actual, cash in a bank account to operate, right? I can't do everything off of crypto right now, but the reality is, and I know this myself, I have too much money in a regular bank account right now. It's stupid. And I don't mean too much money. What I'm trying to say is, like, what I should be doing right now is I should have all of those reserves, or at least a massive amount of those reserves. They should be in one place. They should be in USDC. And I should be earning, if nothing else, a few percent off of them. Why am I, it frustrates me with myself that, like, that I have to hold what I have to hold for business purposes, because I should be able to sit my stable coins happy as a clam in poop, you know what I mean? And just make a couple percent, because the
Yeah,
banks aren't giving it to me,
exactly. And it just comes from greed, right? The banks give you no percent because it's greedy. They
Yep.
want to keep everything. They could be giving you percentages, right?
Oh
Just
yeah.
how like we're seeing play to earn coming to become a bigger thing with game developers.
Mhm.
That is game developers giving up some of the money that they're making back to the people actually playing the game. So they're
Yep.
giving up some of the profits for the other people to enjoy. Before, that's never been a thing before, and it's
Yeah.
just game developers being greedy. We got it. So Rob, don't worry, you haven't missed a lot. We just got started. The only other topic we covered before this was crypto and God and coming to churches. But he's asking, what is the difference between USDT and USDC?
Okay. It's two different stable coins. I mean, at the end of the day, Miguel, unless you have a better explanation for it, it is literally the difference between, I'm trying to think of a good explanation. It's the difference between the US dollar and the Chinese yen, or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's just two different companies that created it,
Yep.
right? So the USDC, I believe, comes
I
what
think
is
so.
it?
I think it was Coinbase.
Yes, I think it was Coinbase or something like that. I made
Yeah,
USDC,
I'm pretty
and
sure.
then USDT is created by Tether, which
Yep.
is another company that has been audited multiple times, yada yada.
Yeah.
So it's just being created by private companies creating their own coin, but they're creating a stable coin that they're keeping stable through burning effects and backing their tokens with real life assets.
That's a good question, and the all the FUD and whatnot you hear surrounding stable coins, a lot of it is because the banks are scared of these stable coins for the exact reason that I just stated, where I'm literally saying, like, why do I even have my money in a bank account? I should just be sitting in stable coins and earning yield off of that, right? And so I think because it scares them, they want to regulate it. This article goes on further to say, as reported by You Today, the People's Bank of China recently outlawed all cryptocurrency transactions and business activities last Friday, which caused a short-term market sell-off. With cryptocurrencies gaining more prominence in the States, industry observers are closely monitoring the most recent developments on the regulatory front. Tesla CEO Elon Musk recently advised the U.S. government to, quote, do nothing about cryptocurrency. I would say do nothing. Just let it fly, he said. Presently, the Federal Reserve is assessing the benefits and costs of creating a central bank digital currency. A report about the digital dollar is expected to be published in the nearest future. Miguel, that's where this is headed. I'm gonna make this short and sweet on my side of things. The US knows that we are so far into this cryptocurrency thing, they've either got to get involved or get left behind. And that's it, right? And so I was actually at Chase, where I bank for business yesterday, and I was giving them crap about the recent issues that I've had with cryptocurrency transactions. And I said to her, I said, I am going to leave here. I'm going to take all of my accounts and I'm going to leave here because of this. Because guess what? You guys are actively fighting against something that's not going to stop, for one. And for two, Jamie Dimon, right? He is a freaking schmuck, and he is trying to say that he is all against this, that, and the third. He freaking owns it. I know it. Just don't even get me started. All that just to say, the U.S. is working on this. They are trying to figure out basically how to posture and how to position. I believe that they've already got this all worked out. Now it's just the politics, just like everything else. How do we roll it out? At what point do we roll it out? Do we roll it out as part of a solution? Because listen, they could get crazy technical on the side of trying to fend off and fight off some of these crazy debt problems that we have right now. They could get really creative and start using the digital dollar as a way to try to, essentially, I hate to call it this, but confuse the American people on what they're doing to ultimately, get out of or help with the fiscal problems that we have in the United States today.
Yeah, I don't know how the digital dollar is going to help the United States survive the hole that they're in at all. I honestly don't see it. But they do understand that they have to go digital. They have to go smart money, right? And not just going digital and having smart money, but the fact is, last year we saw what's the word? We saw, oh my god, what's the word? When they paid us, what's the stimulus checks? Stimulus checks. That's the word. Yeah. We saw stimulus checks coming out, right? But that stimulus checks didn't go into what they wanted, right? There was a lot of articles coming out about how people were either just sitting on the money or people were, using it for this or that. And instead of paying their rent or, buying food, people were using it for other things. A lot of people invested into crypto.
Yep.
Yeah. They don't want that. With a digital dollar, it will be programmable money. They will have the ability of saying, hey, you have this money, you can't sit on it. We're giving it to you so you can stimulate the economy. Go spend it. Yet from this day to this day to spend it. If you don't, kapoof, it goes away. Yep. Right? At the same time, you can only spend it on A, B, or C. Can't spend it on anything else. The money will not clear, will not come out of there. Therefore, they will then be incentivizing you, pushing you into making you spend the money on what they feel is beneficial to them and to the economy in whatever sector they want to stimulate, right? I see the benefits to it, but I also see the dark side of this, right? They're going to be, hey, you can spend it on Amazon. Hey, you can spend it at Walmart. Hey, you can go spend it at McDonald's. But no, you can't spend it at that mom and pop shop down the street. No, you can't go and invest it and make yourself money off the money we gave you. No, you can't gift it to a family member or whatever. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I hate the fact. So you obviously know that we love crypto, but part of me hates the fact that it is ultimately going to give some form of digital control over what's happening, especially in that capacity. If something like that is pushed out, then they literally have the ability to accept or deny transactions on a blanket. Basically they could blanket a number of transactions and say, this is good. Nope, that's not good. This is good. Nope, that's not good. And No, Rob, I'm not even going to repeat what you just said in the chat, but the answer is no. We are not going to be using it for nefarious purposes, Rob. Yeah. So check it out. We know they're not going to can cryptocurrencies. We do know that they have a U.S. digital dollar. Let's talk a little bit about. Let's get the new person involved. We always talk about the
Wait,
two
before we
things.
get there, before we get there,
Oh, you got something else? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Just Miles brought up a good point, right? Social credits. That is going to be the long-term goal of the digital dollar, right? What we were just talking about smart money, forcing you to incentivize you to spend it here or there.
Yeah.
It's all about a social credit. That is coming, right? If you've seen Black Mirror, you've seen how that ends. You see how that gets very, very slippery real quick. But it's coming, right? China has a social credit.
You do believe that we are headed towards a social credit score?
It's not just us. The entire world will be on a social credit world.
Oh.
You have to realize the entire world. We're living the 21st century, but if you think of what the possibilities of technologies are in the next 100 years compared to us right now, we are still cavemen. We are still cavemen with the technology. The technology exists. It's just not implemented yet. Right? There's a lot of barriers to implement it or whatever. But once we cross that within the next 50 to 100 years, and that's really pushing it out. It can happen a lot earlier than that. We are looking like cavemen right now. The entire world will be plugged in. The entire world right now is not plugged in. The entire world doesn't have internet. The entire world doesn't have online banking. The entire world doesn't have a lot of digital things. The entire world at one point will be plugged in, and everything will be digitized. Everything will be surveillanced. And everything will be with a social credit, incentivizing people what to do, what not to do. Yeah.
So I agree with you. I do agree that that's coming. Here's kind of where I struggle with it. I struggle with it to believe that my brothers and sisters that came up with me through the Marine Corps, right? Through if you were if you served, period, right?
Yeah.
That you fought for this country for freedom. And now I believe that that right there is not the freedom that we fought for, and I have a real problem with that.
I agree.
Listen, the social credit score is it is a nicely packaged communist regime. It's saying, hey, you as long as you do this, and this, and don't hang because Miguel, I don't know how far you've looked into this, but I've read into this a little bit. And it is down to as far as, okay, you and I are having this conversation right now, right? We are talking bad against the United States government for some of the things that we do not agree with, right?
Yep.
We would get dinged or docked for this conversation happening, right?
Yep.
And if the conversation happens enough, then we get literally like starred. We have basically like a little, I'll call it a star on our chest, but it's basically like we are marked as a person. Do not talk to that person. Do not hang out with that person. And here's where it gets wild. Now, my sisters and my parents and my family want to spend time with me. They want to spend time with my daughter, right? They want to spend time with my wife. Now they have to pay attention to the fact that, hey, I'm not willing to just shut the heck up and sit on my hands and do and say whatever they want me to do. So therefore, the whole family is going to suffer as a result. Brother, that is not what I fought for.
Social, I mean, it's not right, but they're not worried about what you fought for because you're not going to be around to do anything about it. I'm not going to be anything. I'm not going to be around to do anything about it.
Corner over here that has a couple things to say about it.
I mean, but this is the problem, right? We the way we think is a dying breed, right? The younger generations coming up are being indoctrinated to this technology, right? It's inevitable, right? Kids are being born and they're at 2 or 3 years old. They're playing with laptops. They're playing with tablets. They're playing with smartphones, right? Technology is going to be what playing with a stick and a rock outside was for us, right? It's just going to be normal. So the technology, the surveillance, the social credits, it's going to be normal to them. It's like, I've always lived like this. Like this has been my normal and I see the benefits to it versus when our parents saw us first getting on the computer, they're like, what are you doing on there?
Screen time. Hey, listen, you can only be on there for so long.
right? But that's going to change with time. So the younger generations, that's why I said latest will be 50 to 100 years, right? Those generations from now are going to be looking at us and be like, people like didn't have a social credit. Like, how did you know who was a good person or a bad person? How did you
Oh,
know who to hang out with and who not to hang out with, right?
that makes
Because what
me
you just
sick to
said,
my stomach.
about us getting right, we would be technically getting flagged, right? And then your family members are like, oh man, if I'm in close proximity, my social credit is going to go down because I'm hanging out with somebody with a low social credit. And that's exactly what happens in the Black Mirror episode, right? People that have lower social credits can't hang out with people with higher credit. They were like, wait a minute, you're sketch. There's something
Yeah,
wrong with you if your social
yeah,
credit is not high enough, right? Your
yeah.
social credit is going to tell you what neighborhood you can live in, what house you can afford to buy, and everybody's going to look at you depending at what your credit is. And that is going to be a normal for younger generations. For us, is crazy. For us, is no way. We can't let this happen, but we're not going to be around. There's nothing we can do. We can't. Even we try to transmit this information over to younger generations, our words won't get through the programming that's just in front of their screen, in front of their face, right? The screen time they're constantly on
It's
every
already
day.
happening. It's already happening.
Oh
The
yeah.
indoctrination, as you will. I don't want to get political here, but the things that the things that are happening in our world right now, the things that even if you just turn on a TV show, right? Whether you believe in this or that, or this is a right way to live, this is a wrong way to live, this is right, this is wrong. Listen, I'm not going to get into that. But what I am going to say is that the things that are on TV now that are pushed out, like pushed on you. It's not like it's just like a random part of a random show. It is on every freaking show. Do you know that there are multiple shows this year that
Mhm.
I literally stopped watching with my wife because there was agendas being openly pushed. Listen, I want to hit on one real quick. We watched an episode of Grey's Anatomy, okay? And the Grey's Anatomy literally went deep into the police brutality problem against black people. Okay. And literally they were literally portraying our police as just absolute savages on this freaking show. What do you think that does to people that watch that at a young age? I'm scared. Miguel, you're about to have a little girl, right?
Yeah.
I have my little girl. It scares me to death. It has me thinking like I've never thought before. It has me thinking, who besides me in the home and my wife in the home and our friends from church in the church, who is going to be helping to raise my child? Because the facts are I'm probably not going to be schooling her. So it's like, where do you send your child without making them an outcast and making things even harder for them, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be a fine, like a tightrope to walk there where like, oh, wait a minute. If you do try to choose something other than what we think you should be doing, then the child is going to suffer as a result, just like the adult. Your social credit score starts as a young boy or girl. And oh, yeah, by the way, are you a boy or are you a girl? You get to pick. Yay. Just put it down, right? Mark it down. Check this, check that. Man, it's just getting scary. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. It's definitely getting scary. Let's move on to the beginner questions.
Yeah, what originally what were we wanting to talk about, Miguel? You wanted to
So we
talk a
want to
little bit
talk
about
about,
exchanges?
yeah, exchanges, right? As a beginner for crypto, somebody that's first getting started, right? I was literally at an appointment the other day, and I was talking to the person there, right, the nurse or whatever, and they were like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I have a crypto business, yada yada yada." And they're like, "Oh, wait, crypto? My nephews told me about that. How do I get involved with that? How do I start learning about it?"
Right.
So the first thing was like, I was like, oh, you gotta find an exchange, just how the stock market works, yada yada.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what exchange? I don't know, right? Just
Right.
tell me whatever it is, and I'll download it. So
Right.
when it comes to exchanges, a lot of beginners don't know where to begin. Some people start on Robinhood. Some people have noticed, right? PayPal now buys and lets you buy and sell Bitcoin. Venmo, I think, is also doing the same thing.
Mhm.
Cash App, has been letting you buy Bitcoin for a long time now. Some people bought Bitcoin on Cash App, and the problem is that all these platforms aren't equal, right?
Right.
A lot of these platforms have, the ones that I just finished mentioning, have the problem where you don't have custody of those
They
tokens,
give you
right?
exposure.
Yes, they give you exposure, right? You're like, oh, I own Bitcoin, but you don't really own it, right? Because you can't send it out to anybody. You
Right.
can't send it to a different wallet or nothing. It's kind of like they're just giving you an IOU piece of paper saying you supposedly own this much Bitcoin, right? So the problem with that is that you don't have custody over your own private keys, and people don't understand what private keys are.
Right.
Most beginners are used to the traditional system where the money is just sitting in a bank and they're the
Mhm.
ones controlling it, and they don't
Right.
have to worry about it. But
Right.
crypto is about, being your own bank. It's about
Mhm.
having privacy over your money and being able to do whatever you want with it. But these exchanges or these platforms doing these things are not giving you that exposure to the real cryptocurrency of you being able to do whatever you want. And it kind of goes back to the programming aspect of they're trying to program you like, yes, you can get onto crypto, but no, we don't want you being your own bank and having
Right.
full power over your own money. And a lot of people are okay with it, but beginners need to be able to tell the difference and need to focus on finding exchanges that do give them that opportunity.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons that, Miguel, whenever we talk to beginners, we focus on debatecrypto.academy. We focus on two things. We focus on education and game planning, right? And the education on the front end goes into the simple ideas such as, well, wait a minute, where is a good place to get started once I have read up, once I understand what I'm buying, once I understand some, maybe I've read the Bitcoin standard, blah, blah, blah. Where do I start? And at that
Yeah.
point, the question becomes, well, what are you trying to achieve? Are you just trying to get exposure? If you're just trying to get exposure, yeah, there's options out there, just like you mentioned, a number of options, such as, Robinhood has a couple options. I think Webull has options. Some of these other places have options, but if you want to actually transfer crypto out, now it's a whole different story. But if they don't have the education on the front end to know that, hey, what does it even mean? What do you
Yeah.
mean I can't transfer it out? Like, what does that even mean? And that's why on the front end we're always saying education, 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 education.
Yeah. How do you figure out, how do you become your own bank? What does that mean, being my own bank? People don't know what that is because people have never been their own bank, right? They've always
Right.
depended on a bank. They think of banks of like, this is just the way it is. It's always been this way. I put my money
Yep.
there, they
Yep.
take care of it, and whatever
Yep.
crumbs they give me, I need
Yep.
to be happy about it because that's all I'm supposed to get. So we have this question, right, from Call Mayhem.
Yeah.
So he says, I've been doing crypto for 5 months. I'm on 3 different platforms. I'm clueless how to transfer between wallets.
Yeah.
So that is a perfect beginner question, right? And it's
Fantastic.
one of the many things that we can help and cover in the Debate Crypto Academy. So
Yeah.
give them the rundown on that.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, this is, first of all, great question. Call Mayhem. I hope that you're subscribed to the channel, guys. If you are in the live chat, X out of the live chat, smash up the like for us. We super appreciate that. We appreciate everyone's support. Make sure you're subscribed. You got the bell notifications on. But as it relates to this question, you've been in crypto for 5 months. You got 3 different platforms. I'm gonna make this as simple as I needed it to be made for me, but it really wasn't. there it, once you start playing around on the different options depending on which platforms you're on, it is as simple as this. You have an address, you have a wallet address for the different assets that you hold. So let's just say Ethereum, right, has an Ethereum address and it's on the Ethereum network. But let me make it even simpler. You literally have an address that's this big long it's a big long numbers and letters, capital knockout, just a whole bunch of just, oh my gosh, what is that, right? You are literally copying and pasting. So on one exchange, you're going to copy the address of where it's coming from. You're going to go to the other exchange where it is going to. You're going to make sure that you are transferring it into the same type of wallet, and that exchange is going to be set up to receive. It is as simple as copy and paste. It's intimidating on the front end. Would you agree, Miguel? It is intimidating when you first start, but the reality is it's copy and paste.
Yeah, 100%, dude, 100%. So let them
And
know.
hold
Debate
on.
Crypto
Let me tell you one
Academy.
more
Go
thing.
ahead. Go ahead.
The QR codes. The QR codes are the most ingenious thing with the wallets anymore, I believe. And it's as simple as, like, if you're sitting, I'll tell you what I loved. was you sit down on the computer and you pull it up and it puts the QR code on the screen from one exchange or another. You pull out the other exchange if you want to send it from one place to other, that you literally have a little scan option. You scan it right there on the computer, and it either tells it where it's coming from, where it's going to. The QR codes make it even easier than the clipboard. I don't know. I love it. It's simple. You will figure it out. I promise you. You just need to play around with, how do I copy? How do I paste on these platforms? You're muted. You're muted. I'm going to start. Guys, we need to put a fund together to figure out helping Miguel to not mute his keyboard. This happens quite a bit, guys. We're going to need to maybe buy something for his keyboard that blocks.
My keyboard is too loud. My keyboard's too loud when I type, and then I need to mute myself every time I'm typing. If not, it's just here in the background. So, like I was just gonna say, I was like, I 100% agree with what you're saying, and that's just one of the many questions and topics that we can cover and help you guys, you know, in the Debate Crypto Academy. So, if you guys are interested, you guys are beginner, like Call Mayhem says, it's only been in for 5 months. Whether you got it in 5 months ago or you got it in 2 years ago, and you've only just been picking up random coins that have been talked about on the internet, whether it's TikTok or YouTube, and you've made some money, but you've lost some money. You don't really have a fundamental education on crypto and how it works and the different dynamics of it. Check out the link right there, right? DebateCrypto.academy is our website. You can sign up to our academy and get all the education that you need. And we have a bunch of members in the Debate Crypto Academy in the chat right now. So don't just take it from us. Take it from them. Ask them in the chat right now what they think about it, whether it's worth the money or not.
Yeah, and I mean, I have no problem with the shameless plug. The reality is, tomorrow we have a seminar that we're doing. If you're an OG or an all-in member, we have a seminar tomorrow that we're doing private seminars once a week, which is a lot, guys. That's at least 4 a month, right? Where we are spending time, an hour or more, putting together a private seminar where it's face-to-face, computer to computer, you know what I mean? And
social credit to social credit.
Yeah. Social distance and social credit. And ultimately that is every single week. And if you're interested, you guys get to vote on that. We literally put up a poll every week. That's what we will be doing to democratize it, to make sure that you guys are getting what you want. So we'd love to have you if you guys are interested. But yeah, what else we got going on in the, we got anything else in the chat that was beginner questions?
No, just a lot of DCA family members all saying that, you know, it's the best choice they've done to getting into the academy. It's, you know, it's great being part of a tight community. It's way better to learn together than to learn alone.
So, hey, hold on. Let's touch on this one real quick. G Meek says, wallet. What wallet do you speak of? So let me simplify that question, or that answer. Each of the different coins will have its own wallet. So if I pull up, like, oh shoot, I can't because I'm on TikTok right now. If I was going to show you on my phone, but if I pull up Coinbase, for example, and I go and I pull up Bitcoin, when I go into Bitcoin, there is going to be an area that says Bitcoin wallet, and I can literally open up each of the different coins, each of the different tokens has its own wallet, and that will have its own address. That's what you're copying. That's what you're pasting. As long as you are copying and pasting from the same type of coin to the same type of coin, Bitcoin to Bitcoin, ETH to ETH, et cetera, it's copy and paste.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything else in the
no, nothing else in the chat. I think Jimmy says, "Oh, awesome! I'm glad you got it." Yeah, all the coins go into different wallets, and you know, nothing goes into just one random thing. That's part of being your own bank and understanding these fundamentals, right? That is just, if you're going to take in different cryptocurrencies, you need to have a wallet. I understand exchanges kind of take that for you, take care of that for you. You know, you just send it here and boom, it comes to your Coinbase account. But when you have MetaMask wallets, some tokens you have to add on, right? It only has an ETH wallet, and then if you want to add Bitcoin, you want to add this, you got to go add it. And if it's some low cap gem or some new project, you're gonna have to copy the address, right, and make sure that you get the contract address of the project added to your wallet. And these are all the different things you need to learn about becoming your own bank and how these things work in the crypto space.
So Call
Well,
Mayhem says, at what point do you consider a hard wallet? Miguel, I've been answering too many questions here. Why
yeah.
don't you answer that?
So I think that this depends on whether when the minute you decide you're in crypto for the long term, you need a hardware wallet,
Yeah.
right? If you're in it for the short term trading, like some people are, and some people can do technical analysis, or whether they're using bots or whatever, then you probably don't need a hardware wallet, right? Because you're going to keep your money on exchanges to be continuously doing trades, and that's fine. But if you're in it for the long term, if you're in it for more than a couple of months, if you're in it for more than a year, if you're in it forever for the future, right? You're like, no matter what, I'm going to be in crypto always. I'm always going to have some level of position, whether I take profits or not. I'm always going to have a position. You need to secure that, and that needs to be done on a cold storage hardware wallet, not on exchanges, not on hot wallets. We already saw a recent news article, right, that back in March, May, Coinbase, 6,000 customers of Coinbase got hacked. Their coins were taken. That information just got leaked recently. So exchanges are not safe, whether you have two-factor authentication or not. There are still hackers out there that can still get around these things, whether they hack you on your end and they find out your password to your account, or they hack Coinbase themselves and take it from them. They're definitely vulnerable there, and they're vulnerable just on exchanges, just like they are on hot wallets. And the wallets security is depending on the developers. So if the developers aren't great, but they were able to just be good enough to put a scrappy wallet together, they're very vulnerable by keeping your assets on there. So definitely go with cold storage, whether it's Trezor, whether it's Ledger, or there's a few other ones out there that have been coming out recently. I don't know the name of them off the top of my head. Make sure you get cold storage if you're in it for the long term.
Yeah, and I will say, don't let the fact that there's hackers out there scare you out of getting into the market. Don't ever do that.
Oh no, absolutely not.
But at the so because it is a reality that at anything in life, you've got that craziness going on. The hardware wallets, at first feel like they're a little intimidating, but I promise you, there is for example, I love my Ledger Nano X. These Trezors that Trezor sent us, I have not done the unpackaging and the reveal on that. I haven't got into it, but I love right now my Ledger Nano X. And I will say this, there is a 12-minute video on YouTube that literally explains it perfectly how to set it up. If you put 30 minutes to an hour aside and sit down and spend the time to do it, it is well worth it. If you guys are following me on TikTok, you can go to my link tree, and I've got an affiliate link for the Ledger as well, just so you guys know. We got anything else anyone wants to ask?
Rob says, be careful where you buy your wallet from. Also, yeah, 100%, right? Be careful where you buy your wallet from. Make sure you're buying it directly from the companies like Trezor or Ledger. Don't be buying it off some third-party app, Amazon, or whatever.
Rob.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, don't even buy it from Amazon. Buy it from Trezor. Buy it from Ledger. Get on their website. So like when you go to my affiliate link, for example, I'm just using it as an example, I'm not trying to plug it again. I'm just saying, like, when you go to that, it takes you directly to their website. It's not taking you to some other sales,
third party sales avenue.
It needs to come directly from there.
So. Yeah, exactly right. And this, at the end of the day, this is just one of the other things that being part of a community helps you, right? You have all these type of questions. You have a community, whether it's myself or Crypto Keeper Nick answering the question in the community. Other people in the community can answer your questions, help you, make smarter choices and find the direction you need to go and guide you to be able to do these decisions. So definitely take consideration into joining the Debate Crypto Academy. And with that, I think that's all I got for tonight.
Yeah, guys. Hey, first of all, thank you very much to sum things up. We super appreciate all the support. You guys have been just continuously, our audience has been growing and growing, and we had a lot of comments tonight, a lot of interaction. So we really appreciate all the love and support. If you could just make sure you're subscribed, make sure you like, guys. We freaking love you guys. We hope you have a great night. And until next time, hodl like it's hot.